Dear students, welcome to our YouTube channel Vidya for Success. In this video, let us continue the study of modifications of stem. Yes, so far in the stem modification, we studied about the storage stem, supportive stem as well as protective stem. So there is a one more purpose of stem modification is for propagation. Propagation is nothing but multiplication. So in order to increase the number of plant, some of the plantlets they show modified stem. So stem is a vegetative part, right? So vegetative part is showing modification for the multiplication. So that is called as a propagation, right? So there are different plants where the different modification can be seen in order to propagate. So one such stem modification for the propagation is runner. So runner is a kind of stem modification for the propagation. So for multiplication, some of the plants like grass plant and strawberry plant, they are showing the modified stem. That stem is called as a runner. So why it is called as runner? Because of its characteristic growth. So runner actually grow along the surface of the ground horizontally. So because the modified stem growing horizontally on the surface of ground, such a stem is called as a runner. You can find in the diagram. So there is a running structure we can see. That means the stem is continuously running horizontally on the surface of ground. So at certain point, the runner leads to the formation of leaves above the ground region and roots towards the soil. You can find that in the diagram clearly, right? At certain points, that means where actually the node is present in that particular region, the runner leads to the formation of leaves above the ground region and roots towards the soil. So this will continue along the surface of the runner. So wherever the node is present in the runner, at that certain point it leads to the formation of new plants. So this kind of modified stem help the plant spread towards the new area. You might have seen in the grass plant or not, there is a runner will be present. That means the modified stem. So that modified stem help the plant to spread towards the new area, right? So this is a one kind of stem modification can be seen in grass as well as strawberry plant, right? So here you have to understand how actually the modified stem helps in the propagation. Clear? So runner is nothing but a underground stem that grow horizontally above the ground at certain points. That means where actually the node is present in the runner, that region leads to the formation of a new plant. Then one more stem modification is stolon. What do you mean by stolon? So stolon is a kind of stem modification for propagation, right? So in case of stolon, a main plant leads to the formation of lateral branch. You can find in the diagram. So the first plant what you are observing in the diagram, that is the main plant, or you can also consider it as a parental plant. So from the base of the main plant, lateral branch will be arises. So lateral branch is nothing but from the side of the main axis a branch will be arises, that is called as a lateral branch. So that lateral branch grow aerially for some extent. So for some period of time it grow aerially, and after a certain period of time that lateral branch touches the ground and forms a new plant. So this kind of growth on the aerial surface leads to the formation of arc-like structure. You can find in the diagram. So there is an arc-like structure can be seen above the ground region. So that particular modified stem is called as a stolon, right? So stolon is a slender lateral branch arises from the base of the main axis. So when it touches the ground, it forms a new plant. So this kind of propagation keep on continues in the plant. So again the daughter plant will grow, matures. Again it forms the lateral branch and that arc down, then again it gives to the formation of daughter plant. So like this, in the form of chain, new plants will be get arises. Clear? So the modified part here is the stem. So the stolon can be seen in the mint plant as well as in the jasmine. So mint and jasmine plant, they multiply their number by one of the modified stem, that is called as stolon. So if we find the arc-like structure, arc-like modified stem, that is named as a stolon, right? Then one more kind of modified stem is sucker. So sucker can be seen in chrysanthemum. So the chrysanthemum plant actually multiply by the modified stem that is called as sucker. What do you mean by sucker? Why it is called as sucker? So sucker is a modified stem. That modified stem grows from the base of the stem, right? So this lateral branch arises from the base of the stem and grow horizontally beneath the soil. It is not growing above the soil. So beneath the soil, that means just inside the soil, the horizontal branch will grow. This will comes out after a certain period of time and forms a new leafy shoot. Right? So this kind of modified stem is called as a sucker. Right? What do you mean by sucker? Sucker is a lateral branch. So this lateral branch will be arises from the base of the main plant. So you can find in the diagram there is a main plant is present, or you can call it as a mother plant. So from the base of the main plant, the lateral branch will be arises. That lateral branch grows beneath the soil. Right? It does not comes out immediately. So that grows horizontally beneath the soil and comes out by forming the leafy shoot. So that is nothing but the new plantlet. So which plant is get arises from the lateral branch, that means the sucker, that is nothing but a new plant. So from the main plant, number of branches, lateral branches will be arises. You can find from the same plant 3 different branches, horizontal branches formed. Clear? So all those horizontal branches growing just beneath the soil are called as sucker. So sucker is a kind of modified stem. So it can be seen in the chrysanthemum. Then in the banana plant also we can find the sucker as a modified stem. In pineapple plant also we can see the sucker. So when the lateral branch is growing beneath the soil horizontally and it comes out by forming the leafy shoot, such a kind of modified stem is called as sucker. So if you look into the picture, you can clearly write the definition for all these modifications. Right? And also you have to keep the example of plant showing the modification. So sucker can be seen in chrysanthemum plant, banana plant, then pineapple plant. Then the one more stem modification for propagation is offset. So offset is a kind of stem modification can be seen in some of the aquatic plants. So you can find in the diagram there are 2 plants are present, both the plants are aquatic plants. So the first plant is the pistia plant and the second plant is Eichhornia plant. So both the plants are aquatic plants. So in these 2 kind of plant, there is a modified stem can be seen. This will help in the rapid multiplication of the plant. So that modified part is called as offset. What is mean by offset? So off is nothing but half, right? So there is a short internodal structure arises from the base of the mother plant. First you look into the first diagram. So in the first diagram, the first plant what you are observing, that is the main plant. Clear? So from the base of the main plant, there is a short internodal structure will be get arises. So that short internodal structure consists of a nodal region. So from that nodal region, the bunches of leaves will be get arises towards the aerial surface, and towards the water, bunches of roots will form. So that short internodal structure that leads to the formation of new plant is nothing but offset, right? So offset is a lateral branch with short internodes. So there is a short internodal structure that will arises from the base of the mother plant, that is called as a offset. So as I said, offset consists of nodes, right? So each node bearing rosettes of leaves towards the aerial surface and tufts of roots towards the water, because these plants are aquatic plants, right? So aquatic plants will float on the surface of water. So in order to multiply their number, they are showing one of the modified part of the stem. That modified part of the stem is named as offset because it is very short. Internodal structure arises laterally from the base of the mother plant. So this kind of modified stem is nothing but offset. So these are the different kinds of stem modification can be seen in different plants, right? So some of the plants, they show runner as a stem modification for vegetative propagation, and some plants they multiply by sucker, some they multiply by offset, right? So different stem modification can be seen in different kind of plant for propagation, right? Thank you.